They tell me I'm small, but I've learned small faith moves mountains. This platform might look quiet right now, but purpose doesn't need permission. Sometimes the smallest voices are trusted with the biggest stories. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. This platform's small, but God's not contained. And we never ever know what love can do once it's shared. I'm not rich in numbers, not loud on the screen, but every case I cover got weight in between. Faces on flyers, names people forget. I speak them out loud so they never silence. Yet I don't chase clout, I chase truth. Every live stream feels like a prayer in the booth. For the mom still waiting, the dad still searching, for the families hurting while the world keeps turning. They say, what can one voice read do? But I've seen hope rise when the community moves. So I show up steady, even when it's heavy, trusting God with the parts I can't carry. Got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. This platform's small, but God's not contained. And we never know what love can do once it's shared. Every time I go live, I ask one thing: send prayers up higher than algorithms, because awareness is good, but faith goes further, and prayer reaches places we never could. I don't promise answers, I promise care. A space where compassion still lives right here. Victim-focused, truth-driven, heart-led, always standing in the gap on the hardest days. If you're watching this tide, scared or alone, I hope you feel seen through the screen in your home, because God hears whispers, not just the loud, and He's working right now, even in the crowd. So we pray for the missing. Every single time we pray for the answers in God's perfect time. Small seeds planted, faith multiplied. Miracles don't need a spotlight. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. Still believing God's moving, even today. Small but mighty, called by name. And I trust what He's doing even when I can't see the way. This is Mo and Cole. Say a prayer for the missing. Say a prayer for their families. And before you go, say your prayers. Take your vitamins. And remember, even something small can do really big things.
Hey guys, how are we today? I'm so glad to see you guys. We have Nicole, so good to see you, and Tony and Eddie. How are you guys? I'm so glad to see all you guys. It's been a minute, and I want to tell you guys why. Thank God that little RJ was found. I it's so great when it doesn't happen enough like that, and actually our last three cases that we covered, the the four that we spoke about from that, remember, their mama had end time beliefs, and she took them from it ended up she took them to Croatia, and they were found. And the last I saw, their dad was over there, and they had two different dads, remember? But he was over there he's still trying to bring the babies home, all of them. And so that was wonderful. That usually, I thought that one was going to end up like the Daybells, you guys. Well, that's what I was worried about. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you? Good to see you. So they were found, and I've been looking into that, so I have a whole lot of information about that one. And then also Sydney Marquez, she was one that we spoke about, and she was found. And then RJ. So the last ones that we spoke about have been found. Thank God. Thank God. All glory goes to God. But when little RJ was found, the court documents were so bad, you guys, and I was conflicted because I thought, well, the monsters, it needs to be told what the monsters are accused of doing, but in the process, it would have harmed RJ, and then we found out there was another victim. And so I didn't feel right sharing about that. I had to think about it for a while. And so that's why I wasn't here last week, why I missed last week. But today we're here because, oh, you guys, let me tell you. And have you guys heard about little Malika Boone? Her nickname was Molly. And they actually, oh, you guys, also, it has been on the 27th. It made a year that Emily Pike, that's when she went missing. And remember, her remains were found on February 14th. Well, they made an alert for her, and it's called the Turquoise Alert. And they had that about 2 weeks ago now. And it was for this beautiful 8-year-old little girl. Let me come back and make it bigger. There we go. And she unfortunately was found deceased less than 24 hours later. This is in a place called Coal Mine, Arizona. And I can't find anything else about her. There is a reward, and they don't even say that it's a murder here, but see responsible. It says the FBI is offering a reward of up to $25,000 for the arrest and conviction of for those responsible for the death of Malika Molly Boone. It says oh, you are, Elizabeth. Have you heard anything else about it? I can't find anything else except this reward. I did see where they had the whole city on lockdown after this happened, and that's all I saw. Literally, that's all I saw. But it says the Federal Bureau of Investigation in Phoenix, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation Police Department are seeking information regarding the death of 8-year-old Malika Molly Boone on January 15th, 2025. At approximately 6 p.m., Boone was reported missing from her neighborhood in Coal Mine, Arizona, on the Navajo Nation. Boone left one family member's home at approximately 4:15 p.m. to return to the home in which she lived. Both residences are in the same neighborhood and in close proximity to each other. Boone's body was located in a field within the Coal Mine neighborhood at approximately 8:30 a.m. on January 16th, 2026. If you have any information concerning this case, please contact the FBI's toll-free tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI. You may also contact your local FBI office, or you can submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. So I just wanted to mention that today too, because like my intro says, even though that we're small, we never know. We absolutely never know. Okay, today I want to talk to you guys about Besalynn. And they called her Bessie. And Nicole made this for us. And you guys if you're not following her group on Facebook, you really, really, really should. When I started looking into this case, they already had a flyer for her. And They do so very much, and I appreciate them so very much. And if there's a case that you can't find a flyer about, I'm sure that she would be, they'll help you. So so let's talk about her. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys her stats first, and then I'll tell you a little bit about where she lived. She's 63 now, but she's been missing a little over a year. And recently, the FBI announced a $10,000 reward for her disappearance. And the Lummi, um, the business council, they match that reward. And so it says she's Native American, Lummi Nation Indian Reservation. That's where she went missing from. Her eyes are brown, hair black. She's 5'2", so a short little thing, 180 pounds, and she has scars on her right arm and a tattoo that says Bess on her arm. And she was last seen near her home on Balch Road in Lummi Nation. Her boyfriend, Terry Bowman, has been named the only person of interest at this time, and he was named the person of interest in July, so about 6 months after she was last seen. And I'm just going to tell you guys that, we can always hope for a miracle, but it's not sounding good in this case at all, because it says for those responsible. Let me see exactly what it says. Leading to the arrest and conviction of the individuals involved in the disappearance of her. So it's not sounding good, Let me tell you guys I've never been out west before. I'm in my holler here in Kentucky, and I've been on the East Coast, but I've never been out west. And I hate to say it, but I didn't even know that Washington had these little islands out here. But it's close to Bellingham and Blaine, it says. And right here, the Lummi tribe is the third biggest in Washington, and they have about 5,000 members, and their reservation is about 20,000 acres. And I also found this, and her name is Besalynn James, right? And here they have, I don't know if they're related, but there were these two brothers that started they carved these beautiful totem poles, and it was the two brothers and a third man that's unfortunately passed away by now, but their names are Dale James and Jewel James, and another brother, Doug James, and other assistants. And they carve these beautiful totem poles, and they do them for storytelling and to they did one for a pipeline explosion, and they also did them for the 9/11 attacks. And there's one in New York and one in Pennsylvania where the plane went down, and they're absolutely beautiful. And there's a lot on the reservation too, I believe. And I thought that was just really cool. A little something else that I found. So I don't know if they're related to her or not, but that's just a side note. Nicole says, yes, if there's ever an MMIW case you'd like a flyer for, I'd be happy to make one. Or if you see one of our flyers that needs updated. Yep. I didn't want to volunteer you for that, but I knew that you wouldn't mind. Yeah, they are beautiful, Elizabeth. They absolutely are. And I found a few they had this, and this tells about it says that at least 4 Lummi individuals are reported to police as missing every year. And let me tell you a few more facts that I found. There are 110 missing Indigenous people in Washington state as of January 2026. And it says there are 20 solved homicide cases on Lummi Nation dating back to the 1950s. And it says there's 115 unsolved homicides with Native American victims in Washington state. And it says across the nation, Indigenous women are up to 4 times more likely to be murdered or go missing than white women. And it says the true numbers for both of these are expected to be higher due to underreporting. So that makes me really sad. Good to see you, Brett. That's okay. That's okay. No problem at all. Um, so it makes me really, really sad, you guys. And I don't know what to do to help except what I'm doing. And I didn't focus on her because she's Native American. I focused on her case because it's not like my intro says, it's not algorithms. It's not. Sometimes I look into cases that are quote unquote popular right now because I like to stay up to date with what's going on. And if I see somebody else covering it, I like to know the facts and things like that. But usually I try to use my little platform to spread awareness for the cases that don't get attention. And unfortunately, that happens to be a lot of the Native American cases or the people of color. Hey, Alma, good to see you. How are you? So good to see you. So she grew up, and let me show you guys this picture. She had 10 siblings, and this I found this on her niece's Facebook, and this is the whole family except one, they say. And I just love to see old pictures like this, real pictures that aren't digital or don't have the filters. I always love to see those. Me and my mama look through her pictures like this all the time. And she tells me stories from back then and stuff like that. And she's right here, I believe. And she's close to two of her sisters. They fought really, really hard for her and trying to spread awareness. And her son, she has one son that I know of, at least. And here I got this from one of her niece's pages, and it says Auntie Besalynn married James when she married Phil Gallegos. Say her name, Besalynn Mary James, MMIW. And we know that stands for Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women. And this is her. Absolutely beautiful. And this is her younger sister, Madeline. And I believe I saw that both of their birthdays are pretty close together. They're about a year apart, I believe. And Madeline misses her sister so much, you guys. She did a Facebook Live once, and I'm deciding whether to share it or not. It's just so sad. I will show another one, but that one was just so sad. Yeah, and she said this is one of the last times she spent with her sister, I believe. They were together a lot. Yeah. And she had 3 dogs at the time that she disappeared, you guys. And they said that she would never, ever, ever leave her dogs. And 2 of the dogs are with family now. But, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm not even sharing it, am I? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You don't stream for 2 weeks and it feels like 2 years, right? Oh my goodness. Heather Brat, I just fixed it. You told me right after I fixed it. Oh my goodness. Well, that's her cute little doggies, you guys. She had 3 of them, and 2 of them are with her, with family members right now, but one of them hasn't been seen since she was. So that's concerning. And I believe this is her boyfriend, and this is who police named the person of interest. He says, okay, her son's name is Ron, and on his GoFundMe, he says that Terry Bowman was her roommate slash boyfriend, and he says they got in a fight. But what I've read places, it just says that she went for a walk at 2 a.m. So that was his version of events. She went for a walk at 2 a.m. But on the FBI poster, it says that she was last seen on January the 20th at 1:16 p.m., which is a very distinct time. And so in an article that I'm going to read, I think they're saying that she was seen on camera somewhere on January 20th of last year at 1:16 p.m. So, and then he says that Either they got in a fight or she went for either way. He says that she left at 2 a.m. and never came back on January 21st, early morning hours of January 21st. And sure, Miss Alma, no problem whatsoever. I wish that I could do more. I always do my best, you guys, to research and share and do all I can, but there's never not one time that I don't wish that I could do more, you know? So that was the early morning hours of January 21st of 2025, but he doesn't report her missing until January 25th of 2025. So 4 days later, and there has been some allegations of abuse and all kinds of other stuff from one of her nieces, and I can't say that, because I can't find I haven't been able to find independent sources of that, but I don't doubt it. I'll say that I don't doubt it, right? And if you guys want to stay up to date on this case, it's Lummy Communications on. Oh, you guys also, let me do this. Yep, 5 days later, Elizabeth. And I'm going to share the link to her FBI. But I also put the poster that Nicole made for me and some more photos of her on my community post. So like I always say, you guys can screenshot those and share them wherever. I don't mind a bit. You don't even have to share my channel at all. But to stay up to date, it's Lummy Communications on Facebook. And she was reported missing on January 25th. And you guys, their Facebook is full of pictures of Bessie, and they're really, really trying to keep the word out about her. And this was the first one I seen. So 4 days after she was reported missing. And it says, due to updates in the active investigation of Besalynn James, search efforts have been postponed until further future notice. Please continue to avoid any areas under investigation. You can help preserve the Balch Road radius by keeping pet dogs on a leash and by reporting any suspicious activity or tips to 911. So I wonder why that they postponed the search 4 days later. I've been wondering about that. And so then on I don't feel comfortable saying this, you guys, but the name of their council is the Lummy Indian Business Council chairman. They're the ones that matched the reward, the FBI reward in her case. They're the ones that gave the other 10,000. So there is 20,000 reward now. And then the resource numbers are scrolling across my ticker, and they're also in my description. If you guys know anything, please, please, please help. Please. Her family loves her so much. Her son and his wife are also trying so very hard. And her sisters are trying so very hard. But on February the 12th, so about 2 weeks after she was reported missing, they spoke about her here, and I wanted to share that with you guys.
CM Nostalgia, my dear friends and relatives, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to listen to this video. My name is Satsington. My name is Tony Hilaire, chairman of the LIBC, and I'm sitting here with Chief of Police Jay Martin. And first and foremost, we want to send our condolences, our sincerest love and prayers to the family of Bessie James. This is a family's nightmare to have someone missing and have so much uncertainty of what is being done to address it and what the outcome may be. When our families are experiencing adversity, we were taught to be there for them. We are called upon to help, to share our gifts with each other in hopes of lessening the burden that they carry. As of now, this particular matter is under investigation in collaboration with the Whatcom County Sheriff's Office and the FBI. Nothing has been concluded yet, nor have there been any active leads. We understand that our community is very tight-knit, that we're connected to each other, that we know one another, and that we know the ins and outs of this reservation. So we also want to make sure that we have proper protocols being followed, and that the integrity of this investigation is not negatively impacted. The searches have been ongoing by our police department and the family, but due to weather conditions, there have been some limitations on where we can look. We'd like to call to action the Lummi people to assist the family, our Lummi Nation.
Okay, so he says because of weather conditions. So he is the business councilman, and this is the chief of police that's there with him too.
Police department and Lummi victims of crime in our efforts for search and rescue. If you're able to help, please contact the LNPD's office. The specific contact information will be shared through Lummi Communications. Furthermore, our family and our team is meeting on Sunday at noon at the Lummi Housing ROC. Anyone willing to help, please join us at that time. And remember to be there for each other, to look after one another, and please know that we love you all. Thank you.
Well, that's good advice for all of us, you guys, to be there for one another and to look out for one another. That's great advice for everybody. Absolutely is. Okay, so that was 2 weeks after she was reported missing. Like I said, you guys, there's only like two news videos that are that really say a whole lot. So I'm trying to show you guys to go through chronological order and everything that I could find. And so then like I said, they share these on their Facebook a whole lot, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, about Miss Besalynn on that Lummi Communications page. And so then on 3/5, they did a walk, and it says Lummi victims of crime. So this means missing and murdered Indigenous persons say their name honor walk with family of Besalynn James. So they did that on March the 5th. Let's look through that. They do these walks, and okay, is my internet going out? I really don't doubt it. I had the wrong link to that. But one of the articles that I'm going to show you guys, they said that they do these walks to help, to pray and to help spread awareness and things like that. But they said that they wish that they could do more, But her sisters are always there. And so then on 3/6, so about 6 weeks after she went missing, they go on the news. And so I wanted to show you guys that.
Besalynn James was reported.
And like always, you guys, I always share the links to these videos that I play, so you can look back on them later if you want to on your own time.
Was reported missing from the Lummi Reservation January 21st. Since then, there hasn't been a trace. Her family and friends vowing to make sure they find her and find out exactly what went on.
We don't know where she's at. That's what we want, is her home. Besalynn home, that's what we want.
A frantic family cries out in pain. Madeline James Stiver is fearing for the life of her missing sister.
This is very hard because this is bad.
Besalynn James's last known location was her home on Balch Road on the Lummi Reservation. Friends say her live-in boyfriend told them she'd gone out for a walk at 2 a.m. on a cold January night. Since then, neither of them has been seen.
I don't know anybody who would get up and leave at 2 a.m. on a walk. It just doesn't make any sense.
Family, friends, and law enforcement have searched the reservation.
Wait, did they just say that? I know that he's been seen since. They said that he's moved to Idaho, the FBI say that he's moved to Idaho, but in some of the Facebook posts, people are saying that he's been seen recently at a casino on the reservation. But let's hear that again.
Madeline James Stiver is fearing for the life of her missing sister.
This is very hard because this is bad.
Besalynn James's last known location was her home on Balch Road on the Lummi Reservation. Friends say her live-in boyfriend told them she'd gone out for a walk at 2 a.m. on a cold January night. Since then, neither of them has been seen.
Yeah, that's what they said. So why did he go missing for a while too? And you guys, I read that the temperatures were in the 20s that night too. Hey Carl, good to see you. How are you? I know, Brett. I know. It's so pitiful. Exactly, Nicole. 2 a.m. in January in Washington. Yep.
I don't know anybody who would get up and leave at 2 a.m. on a walk. It just doesn't make any sense.
Family, friends, and law enforcement have searched the reservation tirelessly with no luck. They've held demonstrations demanding justice, but none has come.
It's devastated us. It's ripped out our hearts.
At 64, Besalynn is a mother, grandmother, and sister in the Lummi tribe. She's also an elder, a revered status in her native community, making the disappearance that much more painful.
It's a pretty big hit when it's a elderly person in the community. It's a very small, tight-knit community.
So far, police have not named any suspects or persons of interest. Local advocates for missing and murdered women on the reservation say there are still 10 to 15 unsolved cases here dating back to the 1970s. They don't want Besalynn to become another statistic.
We're 44 days in and we still don't have answers.
Meantime, a shirt indicating an indigenous woman is missing from this home hangs outside Besalynn James's front door, where there will be no peace until she is found.
She's screaming for us.
The FBI is now investigating Besalynn's disappearance. If you have any...
That was Madeline, who I showed you guys in the photos with her sister, and she talks about her sister all the time on her Facebook, and I know it's pitiful, you guys. They were really, really close, and out of all the 10 of them, it looked like they might have been the closest. I'm not sure, but I'll read an article that they're in too, and it tells us a little bit more.
Information as to her whereabouts, you're urged to call 911. On the Lummi Reservation, Eric Wilkinson, King 5 News.
Now there's an article that I want to show you guys. And hopefully it lets me in. But if it doesn't, I tricked it and took screenshots of it. You know how it only lets you see stuff once and then it wants you to pay sometimes? It got me like that before. But I think it's going to let me in, hopefully. Because if I subscribe to all of these newspapers that I look at, you guys, I would have so many subscriptions that I would forget about, you know, because I'm always looking at different ones. I know, Brett, that's what I do too, and I think that's what the police are alluding to also. So this was about 100 days after she went missing, May 3rd, 2025. It says Besalynn James went missing at the end of January. Her family is frustrated with law enforcement efforts. And that's her son and his wife. Yep. It says on a desk-sized calendar, Rosalind Bland fills squares with notes about her younger sister Besalynn James' last text messages, last Facebook post, last known whereabouts. She keeps count of the days from when her sister was reported missing to the Lummi Nation Police Department this winter. She notes when meals were delivered by well-wishers, when the family received tips about their sister's possible whereabouts. It's the kind of calendar that no one would expect to find on a detective's desk. But for Bland, 66, it acts as an outlet for the anger she's felt since the day her sister disappeared. I'm angry at the system. I'm angry at the FBI. I'm angry at the police. I'm just angry, Bland said. I'm just angry until I have justice for my baby sister. I feel that. I absolutely feel that. I have one big sister, and she would do the same, and I would be the same for her, Lord forbid, you know. says James, 62, was last seen on January 21st at her house on the Lummi Reservation. She wasn't reported missing until 4 days later by the man she was seen. James is one of at least 114 missing Indigenous persons in Washington. That's what I was telling you guys, but these stats we can't really count as for positive because a lot of underreporting, you know. It says across the nation there are thousands of missing and murdered Indigenous women. In Washington state, the Homicide Investigation Tracking System reflects 115 unsolved homicides involving Indigenous victims. The true number, is likely unknown due to underreporting. It says coined an epidemic by former President Joe Biden and a crisis by former Secretary of the Interior Deb Haaland, the MMIP crisis is on full display in Washington state, according to a 2018 report by the Urban Indian Health Institute. Washington had the second highest number of cases of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls in the country, a rate 4 times as high as white women. Let's see. And it says they're supposed to have a new report out early this summer, and then it goes down here and see this is her sisters Besalynn and then Madeline over here on the right that was so upset in the news that we just saw. Let's see. James and her 10 siblings grew up in and around Lummi Nation. Their childhood home was a farm located on Red River. She and her sisters, Bland and Madeline Stivers, were surrounded by horses. Bess would get up every morning before me, Stivers, 61, said. Every morning she'd get up before me and get on the horse. Dad would say, whoever's up first can have the horse. And I'd say, but Bess gets it every time. Aw. James rode horses into adulthood, sometimes along the river, stopping to visit her grandchildren if her son Ron was out fishing. Sometimes she'd ride into town. She just marched to her own drum, said Rosalie Revy Jacobs, a Lummi Indian Business Council member. She rode a horse down Haxton Way, and you would just see her with a big smile on her face. Even as an adult, James' love of animals never wavered. At the time she was last seen, she had 3 dogs. This is what I was telling you guys about. 2 of them are with family and friends. The third hasn't been seen since James disappeared. That's sus too. It really is. It says, among her circle of family and friends, James was an accomplished beater, creating necklaces and decorating cedar hats. Before she disappeared, she was nearing the end of making 5 necklaces for her grandchildren. Aww. That takes some talent. Big time skills. It says she had almost all of them done, she said, and she was so excited because she was going to give them to them, said Miranda Nolan, James' daughter-in-law. She's always advocating for her, too. She says Nolan and her daughter last saw James on January 14th at the Lummi Tribal Health Center, so about a week before she was last seen. It says she was excited because she'd won money at the casino, Nolan said. She went to Costco and she got this cute little native jacket, like a khaki tan. A few days later, James stopped posting her game activity on Facebook. She liked this game called Thug Life, and she would always send notifications. They just stopped coming, Nolan said. And this is her mobile home and her family. That's her son and her sisters. This is them outside her house. It says right here, you guys. That's why it's on the FBI poster. It says camera footage gathered by a neighbor shows James leaving her house in the afternoon a few days before she went missing, but the footage doesn't show her coming back. So, Mr. Terry Bowman, how did she leave that night at 2 a.m. if she never returned home? On January 25th, Bland received 2 phone calls, one from James' partner at the time one from Terry asking for her to feed the dogs, and later one from the Lummi Nation Police Department telling her James went missing. So if Terry called her sister to feed the dogs, why didn't he say why that Bessie couldn't feed the dogs? You know? Family members said James' then boyfriend had reported her missing that day, telling law enforcement the last time he had seen her was 4 days earlier on January 21st when she allegedly left at 2 a.m. for a walk. The temperature would have been in the upper 20s at that time, according to weather records. Yeah, She absolutely does, Nicole. A beautiful smile. Brad, that's a good, yeah, that's possible. It definitely is. Um, he reported that she was wearing a black jacket and white tennis shoes, the family told CDN, this newspaper. It says the family hasn't seen any camera footage to corroborate his statement. And the boyfriend hung up on this newspaper when they tried to call. But right here, the sister says that those clothes she saw, remember, she went into the house to feed the dogs before she knew she was officially reported missing. And it says before the police called Besalynn to let her know James was missing, she walked inside her sister's double wide that Saturday to feed the dogs. Certain things were off. For one, the house was clean and her homebody sister wasn't home. We all have dust mites and dog hair, she said, noting her sister typically had stuff on end tables and the couch. It was cleaned up. In James's room, Besalynn found the black jacket and white tennis shoes her sister was reportedly last seen wearing. Rather, Besalynn believes James was wearing the native-style jacket she got at Costco when she was last seen. In the weeks after James went missing, searches were held around her property and the surrounding area, including with search dogs. It's a recovery, not a find. Since James went missing on tribal land, the investigation falls to the FBI. Lummi Police and the Whatcom County Sheriff's Office are assisting. In a statement to the news, the FBI said James's case is an active investigation. The FBI would not share any details, and the Lummi Police didn't return their request for comment. You guys, it says she is on the Washington State Patrol list of missing persons database. However, she is not included in the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System, NamUs, a federal database created to consolidate information about active and cold missing persons cases. How many times have we used NamUs for cases like this? Why is she not on there? It says, while Washington is required to put missing persons information on NamUs, a recent national public radio analysis found 65% of the state's missing people weren't listed in the federal database. Fewer than half of the missing indigenous people listed in Washington State Patrol's database in January appeared in NamUs. Fewer than half? That is unacceptable. That is absolutely unacceptable. What if, Lord forbid, that unidentified remains are found in another state or something? They wouldn't even think to look, if she's not in NamUs, the national database. Because of the lack of information James' family say they are receiving from law enforcement, the family is planning on hosting a yard sale in June to raise funds for a PI. They also believe that law enforcement is no longer looking to find their sister and mother alive, but are rather searching for her body. You have to read between the lines, Nolan said. They told me things after the search, and I could piece it together. They're looking for her body. It's a recovery, not a find. They're not going to find her alive. And Revy Jacobs, the council member and MMIW representative, said James' family has been vocal about their frustrations with the case. I think as a tribal leader, I can see how they're frustrated, she said. 6 or so years ago, there was this big movement for MMIW, and it's headed in a good direction, but it's not enough. There are 20 solved homicide cases on Lummi Nation dating back to the 50s. The family has their own suspicions about who was involved in James' disappearance. That knowledge has made their once safe home feel a lot less safe. It says that the Lummi Nation has provided meals, a liaison, the family's advocate, and they are regularly circulating on social media and honor walks. Let me see. And it tells about some walks that they've went on recently. And this was kind of interesting. Bland and James' son, Ron Nolan, still hopes she's alive. Nolan said he had a conversation with her before she went missing about what he would think if she just quote-unquote took off. I told her, Mom, you do what you think you need to do and what would make you happy, he said. So I think he just doesn't want to think about it, because there is a post that I want to show you guys that I think that the police, they do think the worst. Let me show you guys that now. Let me see here. So this was on May 22nd. And when was this article? It was in May. Yep. So a few weeks after this article came out where the family is upset, they put this out. Let me make this bigger for you guys. It says, attention community and relatives. So this is the Lummi victims. Acknowledges public concern surrounding the tragic disappearance of Besalynn James. Please be assured that law enforcement is active in this investigation and is dedicated to following all possible leads. Due to the sensitive nature of an open investigation, many case actions cannot be shared publicly at this time, but updates will be provided as they become available. We stand in solidarity with family and appreciate the ongoing support from our community. Please avoid any search areas that contain a visible police barrier and remember to report all tips to 911 even if they seem insignificant. Lummi Nation extends gratitude to many departments and volunteers who have invested hundreds of combined hours to the investigation. And then they list all of them. So that was a few weeks after that article came out. And then in June 30th is when they post this. And this was the first time that I saw this and leads me to believe it's not so good. You know, it says FBI and family of Besalynn James request community support in the search for missing person Besalynn James. Helpful tips include reports of direct confession for homicide, the exact location of any potential human remains, reports of someone claiming to have assisted in the crime, and sightings of Besalynn James. So that's not so good, right? The last thing that they put was sightings of Besalynn James. Hey, witchy woman, how are you? That's okay. I'm glad for you guys to stop by any at all. So remember, she was reported January 25th. So by June 30th, it kind of seems like they're thinking the worst. And 2 weeks after that is when they first name the boyfriend the person of interest. And so we'll watch that video now.
Thank you, Lord Jesus, for this day to talk about Sister Bessie.
A prayer for Besalynn James outside her Lummi Reservation home.
And all the people that come forward for Sister.
A heartbroken family, distraught beyond belief.
It just makes you cry. It's like, where is my sister?
62-year-old Besalynn James was reported missing January 21st. Her boyfriend, Terry Bowman, told police she'd gone for a walk around 2 a.m. and never returned. Exhaustive searches around the reservation turned up nothing.
It's been hell.
Now, police are naming Bowman as a person of interest in the disappearance. They say he's been interviewed by both tribal police and the FBI. Lummi Police Chief Jay Martin telling King 5 authorities know where Bowman is and they're putting pieces of the puzzle together. The family still frustrated there has been no arrest.
He's out living his life. I want him in jail where they know where he's at, where they can turn him upside down and talk to him.
Indigenous women are up to 4 times.
Nobody can blame them. Absolutely nobody can blame them for that. I could not even imagine, you guys. I could not even imagine seeing somebody who I thought took my sister's life. Lord forbid, I don't even like saying that. I got chills even when I said it, you guys. I couldn't imagine having to see the person who I thought did that just living their life, you know, breathing air that I wouldn't think they deserved. If you take a life you don't deserve it. I'm sorry, that's just the way that I feel. I just do. And I just can't imagine how they feel. Like, bless their hearts. And it's been a year now. This was 6 months ago. And the family were told that the police they know where he is and they're just quote unquote putting the pieces together. Well, it's been 6 more months. It's been 6 more months.
is more likely to go missing or be murdered in America. That's a statistic that women on this reservation feel every single day.
We live out here and I'm afraid for my daughters.
A roadside memorial commemorates dozens of Lummi missing and murdered since the 1950s. A tragic history Besalynn's loved ones want to end with her.
I'm scared for them to go places because what if a man hurts them? What if somebody takes them from me like they took my mother-in-law?
For now, the family waits. Besalynn's name now added to that roadside memorial. They pray she is still alive, but have little choice but to fear the worst.
Amen.
Amen.
We want justice for her. We want justice for her because she is the one that's missing. She's the one that's cold. She's the one that's afraid. She's the one that doesn't know where she is.
On the Lummi Indian Reservation, Eric Wilkinson, King 5 News.
So that was this past July. Thank you so very much, Witchy Woman. You're 12. That's great. Thank all you guys. So that was in July, and then her sister did this, the one that we see in the articles that is upset, or in the videos that's really, really upset, her younger sister, Madeline. She's done a few Facebook Lives, and the one, you guys, it's just too pitiful. I mean, it's awful. But this one she did in September. So I wanted to show you guys that one.
Besalynn James. Her name. Say her name. Besalynn James. She's missing from Lummi Nation. Her so-called boyfriend, live-in roommate, done something with her. We don't know what. We don't know where. There was a word the other day. I do gotta call somebody about that, I guess. Wonder if these, I mean, my goodness sakes. Why does it have to be this way? Where's my sister Beth? You know? Where's my sister gone to? I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. I do not know. I do a shout out. I am a warrior. I am a warrior. Lummi Nation. My sister's a warrior. Lummi Nation. And I want my sister back. I want to be able to say goodbye. I really can't say goodbye because I don't know where she's at. God bless you all. That man's name is Terry Bowman. He's down in Idaho somewhere. I wish I knew. Terry Bowman. He done something to my sister, Bessie. So now we fight. We fight for the rights of all the missing women and children and men. We fight for them. Our words are out, baby. Our words are out. Shout out. Shout out for Beth.
Witchy Woman says, my daughters are 30 and 28, and I worry about them every day, especially my grandbabies. I imagine. So I don't have children, but I imagine you would always, and never stop worrying about them. And it's, I think it's, what if we had to worry 4 times as much? The indigenous are 4 times as likely to be hurt as white women. So that's even more. you know. So that was in September. So let's see what happened after that. So then I believe that so this is a post that who we just watched. This was in November. She says, just a note saying, I love you, Bess. You're a missing warrior, elder sister, mother, grandmother, daughter. One person whom is messed up. We don't know where she is. A shout out to anyone knows anything, heard anything. Dear God in heaven, hear our prayers. Bring Besalynn James. Say her name, please. In our Father's name, we give my sister Bess to you, Lord. We know you love all your children. Show us the sign, Lord. You are our Father. Blessed be all God's children. Says, love you. Bring Besalynn James home. So then it brings us to just a few weeks ago. And it is when they announced the reward for her. And they did a walk for her too. Let me see here. Community gathers on 1 year anniversary of Besalynn James' disappearance. Several community members gathered today to mark 1 year since the disappearance of Besalynn James, a Lummi elder whose case has deeply affected families across the Lummi Nation and the wider Whatcom County community. The gathering, organized as a vigil walk, brought people together in remembrance and solidarity, honoring Besalynn James and other missing and murdered Indigenous community members. Participants walked together, shared time and quiet reflection, and showed support for the family as the search for answers continues 1 year later. According to organizers, the event was held on the anniversary of the day Besalynn James was last seen. Community members displayed photos, signs, and messages calling for justice and accountability, while also encouraging anyone with information to come forward. The walk served both as a memorial and a reminder that the case remains active and Besalynn has not been forgotten. Posters shared during the event reiterated that investigators believe she may have been a victim of homicide and asked the public to report any information, no matter how small, through the appropriate law enforcement tip channels. Organizers stressed that continued public awareness remains critical as time passes. The turnout reflected the ongoing concern surrounding the case and the broader issue of missing and murdered Indigenous people. Community leaders emphasized that events like this are meant to keep attention on the case, support loved ones, and reinforce the message that justice is still being sought. Anyone with information related to the disappearance of Besalynn James is urged to report tips to law enforcement through official reporting channels. And those are in my description, you guys, if you know anything. And I do have a short video from that walk that we can watch.
God, bring her home.
And there is one more video that her sister recently did that I want to show you guys. And it was on the 5th. That's weird, guys. I hear it here. I hear it on my computer, but on my phone I didn't hear it. Let me see. That's weird, guys. I hear it here. No, it's not just you. Let me see here. Let me try again. Thank you for telling me. I don't know unless you guys tell me. Thank you very much. Let's see here. Let me try it this way. Okay, let's try it this way. And you guys let me know if you can hear it this time.
Been a while. Hey everybody. It's been a while. Happy New Year. You all know me. Madeline James Stivers. My sister Besalynn James. Still missing. Been about a year now. Nothing nobody can do, nobody's doing. I would like to shout out to everybody. Maybe come over and say hi to me. Call me. Still sitting here alone. I go to my sister's once in a while. Go sit by her house. Yeah. I just thought I'd say hi to people out there that know what's going on. So many people being missing. Not just my sister. Massive you hear. Every day, somebody's going missing. It's crazy. Insane. I never thought about things like this. I would have talked to my sister more. You know? Just remember, I love you all. God bless you. If you do feel like talking, you can call me. My number is on this somewhere. Hit me on Facebook, something.
Bless her heart. She says she should have talked to her
Happy New
sister
Year.
more, and I'm sure that we would all have regrets like that, you know, even if you talk to them every day, you know. And she is showing up here the walk that they had, you know, on the anniversary. Oh, you guys, I feel so bad for them. Bless them, bless them. I think that that's all that I have for her case today, you guys. Please, please help me pray that they get answers, you know, one way or another, that they get answers, and that the person or persons responsible for her disappearance face the ultimate justice, you know. And I also want to ask for prayers, you guys, for my moderator, Van. She has a stomach bug, and I haven't checked on her yet today, but yesterday she wasn't feeling any better. And I just dropped her channel, and also for Trista that was in here. She works, so she stops by when she can. But and also please check out her channel. She leaves daily devotions every day. But I don't want to leave. I want to leave us on a good note. You know, we gotta, like Aaron says, we gotta take something good with our vitamins and our prayers, right? Remember the one time that a few weeks ago I showed you guys the otter that they had trained to look for underwater remains, right? Well, today I want to show you guys a 2-year-old black lab named Phoebe, and she searches for electronics and finds the pedophiles' hidden electronics, you know? So I want to show you guys that before we leave.
You are so pretty. My bestie is so hot. OMG, your eyes.
Oh, I think I got the wrong link. This was a link from the city of San Diego's website. They're talking about internet predators. So I don't know if this is I think I got this from there too, but we'll watch this and see. We need to know about this too.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, you?
I really like the pic of you and your cat.
Thanks. I'm having a hard time at home.
I know how you feel.
Do your parents suck as bad as mine?
Probably worse.
Totally.
By the way, I think you are really pretty.
Thanks.
You want to hang out after school?
Sure. Where?
Adventure Zone. Meet me
by the arcades. Hi, Janet.
Hey guys, listen up. That animation you just watched isn't just a fantasy. Something similar to it happened to me. When I was just 13 years old, I was groomed and lured from my home by an internet predator who kidnapped me and held me captive in his basement dungeon, where I was raped and beaten and tortured, chained to the floor by a locking dog collar.
Oh man.
I knew he was going to kill me. But thankfully, I was rescued. I'm one of the lucky ones. Law enforcement broke down that door, cut the chain around my neck, set me free and gave me a second chance at life. Don't ever be afraid to go for help. Go to a trusted adult and go to law enforcement. They are there to protect you and to keep you safe.
Thank God that she was found. Goodness, you guys. I got that off their website too when I was looking for more about Phoebe. The dog so this is what Phoebe is going to help, you know? So let's watch this.
She's not your average police dog. This 2.5-year-old is San Diego PD's newest electronic detection canine. Her job, sniffing out hidden cell phones, SD cards, or hard drives used to store illegal images. As cute as she is, she has an important role. Her nose is key to helping put child predators away.
Seek.
As 2.5-year-old English black lab Phoebe's on the hunt for electronics.
Show me. Yes, good girl.
She found a memory chip hidden under a table leg and a cell phone nearby. Phoebe can search.
I never thought about this before, you guys, that how they hide electronics like that. So the video that I showed before this was on the same website that I learned more about Phoebe. So she is going to help put people like that away that hurt that young lady. I'm so sorry I didn't warn you guys before that first. I got my links mixed up.
Underwater and a device.
But side note, did you guys hear about that little fella that was lured away in New York City because of Roblox? I'm gonna look into that case more too today, to see if we can help any in that case. But it's too common these days, you guys. Too common. It happens too much.
Mice buried 6 inches deep as well as high up, sniffing out an SD card tucked high up on a blind.
Her sniffing gets a little bit more fast. Sometimes she'll make like a grunting sound.
San Diego Police is introducing us for the first time to their electronics detection canine. She joined the force last March to assist the Internet Crimes Against Children unit. She's trained to detect TPPO, that's a chemical in electronics, even when devices are hidden in walls or cars.
She went right in, found the laptop under the bed, found some things in a drawer, and then she hid out a window. And I was thinking, there's nothing, what are you looking at? And she sat, and I asked her to show me, and she jumped up, and I took a step back and looked up, and of course there was a hidden camera above the windowsill that I don't think any of us would have caught. But
Phoebe was trained in Indiana and donated by the San Diego Police Foundation.
we've been tasked for her nose. We've been used for child abuse and a homicide case. Looking for a cell phone.
But Phoebe also provides comfort, calming scared children during search warrants and giving detectives a moment of relief from the darkest cases.
We're in this business because we want to protect kids. We are also exposed daily to all of these videos and images and the cases and hearing what it has done to these families.
I know somebody in law enforcement that has to deal with the internet crimes against children, and I worry about all that he has to see too, you guys. Stuff that none of us want to see, and once you see it, you probably can't unsee it. So I'm glad that this little dog has so many talents. Therapy dog too. Bless her heart. Brat says that her dog learned how to drop their slippers in her lap. Well, that's great too. And my little dog, I was thinking the other day, he was not an attack dog, not a personal protection dog at all. But if somebody had chicken in their pocket, he would have definitely attacked them. Nicole, I cannot stand, you know how bad that gets to me, these fake AI posts. Oh my gosh, I cannot stand it. It hampers investigations so bad. Like when they were looking for a shooter once and they put out AI photos of them. And that really upset me. And then we know about in Melody's case, they had an AI video, and that really upset me. It can cause more harm than good, I think. But I also use AI to help me sometimes to look for an original source of something that I can't find. ChatGPT helps me do that, so I do have to say that it does help me find. Like, I was looking for something from the Houston police the other day, and I only saw news articles referencing it, but it helped me find that the other day, so it does help sometimes. Hey, Adrian, how are you? So good to see you. So very good to see you.
And so she's very special in this office. Detectives will get up from their desk just to take a break, and she's right there.
She has a nose for justice and a heart for healing.
We have some fantastic detectives, and it's just great to have our little fur detective to help.
Yes, good girl.
In Kearny Mesa, Abby Black, CBS 8.
A nose for justice. I think that's what I got. That's what I got too. A nose for justice and a heart for healing. I think I need to add that to my motto. Oh. I think that's all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so very much for coming and hanging out with me today. It means so very much, you guys. because I always say this, we can make more money, but we can't make more time. And you guys spending your time with me and listening to the cases that are on my heart, I know that they'll be on your guys' hearts too. And it really, really means so very much to me. And I appreciate you guys more and more than you'll ever know. If there is any cases ever, you guys, that you think that we can help spread awareness about, please email me. And I don't care a bit to help any way I can. A few of my friends or you guys have brought me cases before, and I've done my best to share and to look into it the way that I can. So I don't care one bit. And also, if you want to be added to my Discord, please email me about that too, because we talk about cases in there, and Trista shares her daily devotional in there too. And I read those. I have my breakfast. I eat the same thing every single day for breakfast, yogurt and fruit. And when I'm eating my breakfast, after I do that, I read Trista's devotionals every day and spend some time and pray for that. And it really, really helps. Okay, I love you all, and I'm going to play our intro and lead us out. And I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
They tell me I'm small, but I've learned small faith moves mountains. This platform might look quiet right now, but purpose doesn't need permission. Sometimes the smallest voices are trusted with the biggest stories. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. This platform's small, but God's not contained. And we never ever know what love can do once it's shared. I'm not rich in numbers, not loud on the screen, but every case I cover got weight in between. Faces on flyers, names people forget. I speak them out loud so they're never silenced yet. I don't chase clout, I chase truth. Every live stream feels like a prayer in the booth. For the mom still waiting, the dad still searching, for the families hurting while the world keeps turning. They say, what can one voice redo? But I've seen hope rise when a community moves. So I show up steady, even when it's heavy, trusting God with the parts I can't carry. Got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. This platform's small, but God's not contained. And we never know what love can do once it's shared. Every time I go live, I ask one thing. Send prayers up higher than algorithms, because awareness is good, but faith goes further, and prayer reaches places we never could. I don't promise answers, I promise care. A space where compassion still lives right here. Victim-focused, truth-driven, heart-led, always standing in the gap on the hardest days. If you're watching this tide, scared or alone, I hope you feel seen through the screen in your home, because God hears whispers, not just the loud, and He's working right now, even in the crowd. So we pray for the missing every single time. We pray for the answers in God's perfect time. Small seeds planted, faith multiplied. Miracles don't need a spotlight. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. Still believing God's moving, even today. Small but mighty, called by name, and I trust for the missing. Say a prayer for their families. And before you go, say your prayers. Take your vitamins. And remember, even something small can do really big things.